Hello and welcome. I'm Laurie Bull here with State Representative Martina White. She's representing the 170th District in Philadelphia, and she's going to give us an update on things that are going on in Harrisburg. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to talking about what's going on here in Harrisburg, make sure that our constituents are up to date.
And it is June, which is budget month, and one of the big issues in the whole budget picture is education spending. You've seen some of the numbers now. What's your impression of education spending and where we're at with that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Education is so important to make sure that our children are able to graduate and have a quality job opportunity available to them and have the skills that they need in order to get that job. But in terms of the budget, in general, education spending has gone up over time for Pennsylvania, and right now I believe we're 10th in the country in terms of overall education spending, and also we're spending about $15,000 per pupil on education versus the national average, which is about a little over $11,000 per pupil. So the concern is that we are spending money on education. And the question becomes, should we continue to spend more money on a broken education system that is apparently not providing the type of quality education that we want our children to obtain?
Mm-hmm. And attached with education is the issue of property taxes. That's a main way that we fund our schools. And there's been a lot of talk about raising the sales tax, expanding it to tax more things, raising the personal income tax, changing those taxes a little bit in order to lower property taxes. What's your thought on those type of proposals?
Well, so the governor's proposal in terms of the budget and increasing sales tax as well as personal income tax, it's a concern for working people. I mean, in Philadelphia alone, the one proposal that was put out there, although it provides a property tax decrease of about 50%, to offset that lost revenue for the state, they're planning to increase the sales tax and increase the personal income tax, which impacts Philadelphia in a very negative way. I mean, we're going to be paying over $103 million more into the sales and personal income tax that we are not going to be receiving in our school districts. And that is not what I came to Harrisburg to do, and that's why I voted down that proposal. Initially, you may have seen, or constituents may have seen, that I had voted in favor of something very comparable. However, that was in conjunction with an amendment that would have provided that the sales and use tax as well as the personal income tax that's generated from Philadelphia would remain in Philadelphia, and therefore we wouldn't experience that $103 million expenditure that we're not even receiving any benefits for.
So that plan, on the face value, the two looked similar, but really it was a big difference. One benefited your area and one did not, and that's how you voted then.
Correct. Philadelphia provides a large portion of the state's overall revenue, and we want to make sure that we're receiving the benefits as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's switch to some local things. Since you've been elected, you spent a lot of time visiting local civics groups, local businesses, all types of places. Can you tell us a little bit about those visits and what you're hearing from people?
Sure. So not only have I visited businesses and local civic associations, but I did also visit some of the schools in my area. Mm-hmm. And I'd just like to touch on that for a brief moment because education is one of the reasons why I came out to Harrisburg, and really to fix the systemic issues that are going on. Earlier I mentioned that we're spending a lot of money on education, but when I visited my local elementary school, what I saw was that they're working off of a budget of about $50,000 for the whole entire year for expenditures. That's very challenging for a principal to have to do. And along with that, the children are working from books that are from the 1940s. Technology has changed. History doesn't necessarily change, but the way in which people learn does. And we need to make sure that we're adjusting and providing students with the things that they need in order to have a successful future. But like you mentioned, just to go off of the businesses that I had visited, as well as the associations, businesses are facing enormous challenges with the economy coming back in a recovery. but a stagnant recovery, something that, the nation's overall production is at around 3%. GDP growth is around 3%, but the states is at 2.5. So it's trying to get there, but it's finding it's challenging. And so with that, we need to find ways to spark growth and to incentivize businesses to grow. And that's businesses that have been around for a very long time. In Northeast Philadelphia, I visited a variety of companies, and their concerns is that, Philadelphia has a city wage tax, so they're competing with other counties in the surrounding area in order to try to incentivize employees to come in there and work for them. But it costs them more to do that. And with increased sales tax, businesses are going to find it harder, much harder to sell their goods, because now their goods are going to become more expensive.
Sure.
And when we talk about, an increase in sales tax on child care, when we talk about a sales tax increase on nursing care for, elderly folks, these are things that are going to impact families, and that's a problem.
Well, we're going to keep an eye out and keep in touch and keep folks back in the 170th informed about this budget process as we near the end of June.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, take care.
And that is all the time that we have. If you have any questions for Representative White, please contact her at her local office, and we'll show you that information in just a minute. Thanks again for watching.